Hey guys, I do have a longer video planned, but I don't know when I'm going to film it because I'm very, very tired. I'm always tired, but I'm not doing so great at the moment, unfortunately. But the month of May is actually Emmy Awareness Month. I think the month is anyway. Definitely there's an Emmy Awareness Week in May, and May 12th is the official awareness day. So anyway, on Instagram I saw an Instagram challenge for Emmy Awareness Month, and just to be different, I'm going to do it on YouTube because it'll give me a reason to actually make some more videos. So yeah, although I will be linking on Instagram, so I guess I'll be technically doing it on both. Yeah, you won't be able. This will probably look backwards because of the way I'm using my webcam, but it's this one. It's yeah. So I'm gonna do the first one today, obviously, because it is the 1st of May. Again, sorry for this video being so there. I have brain fog. I'm tired. I don't feel well. I feel dizzy, so I'm not very with it, and I'm probably not going to really do much editing on this because I'm just too tired for that. So yeah, you're just going to have to put up with my kind of rambling and whatnot. Anyway, so for the 1st of May, the prompt is my background and Emmy, so might as well talk a little bit about that. I've had some health problems most of my life. I've always had like IBS for as long as I can remember. As a teenager, I had migraines and chronic headaches, but I kind of muddled by and I did all right. And I was pretty active as well. I was always I did dancing, I did rock climbing, hiking, swimming, camping, all the outdoor things, lots of activities. It was great. Yeah, I was active, and even I gained some weight as a teenager, but even then I was still active. I wasn't I didn't slow down. And then I went away to university, and during my first year of university, which was the school year 2013-2014, I think. I started off all right. I went to the gym. I still did a bit of rock climbing. I was attending classes, and I just slowed down. Everything slowed down. I just had less and less energy, and I thought it was just my mental health. I was like, all right, I'm just depressed again, because I'd had mental health problems for quite a long time. So I just kind of figured, oh, it's just that. And I went to the doctors and I tried antidepressants, but nothing really seemed to help. And I realized that also I could feel all right mentally sometimes, and I would still physically feel dreadful. And I found that I was still just about managing to go to most of my classes in first year, and I was hitting my deadlines, but I was attending class and then sleeping for the rest of the day. And I ended up with day-night reversal, where you're awake all night and you can't, and then sleep all day, because my body was just so out of sync, and nothing I did, I just couldn't fix it. I felt exhausted, and little things were just completely knocking me down, and but again, I still didn't really think that much was actually wrong. I thought, I'm just not managing, I'm just not coping with university, this is just what happens. And then I started experiencing pain. My headaches were coming back. I'd been taking medication for those for a year or so, but then they started coming back, and things hurt everywhere. I couldn't really pinpoint the pain. It was like just random nebulous things hurt. And I eventually did go to the doctors and had a load of blood tests, and they said, oh, you've got an underactive thyroid. So I was like, oh, okay, cool, we can deal with that. So, but then I went home for the summer before they could prescribe me anything. So I took my blood test results to a new doctor at home, and they prescribed me Thyroxin. And I experienced a small amount of improvement over the summer, but nothing massive. Just a little bit more energy. I was just a little bit less sluggish. And then when I went back to university, the doctors there said, oh, well, we would never have put you on Thyroxin already. And they took me off it. So then I ended up not without it. And then after another couple months, they were like, all right, yeah, we'll put you back on it. No, less than that, even for about a month, they were like, yeah, all right, we'll put you back on it. Because it turned out I did need it. So that was all just a bit of a fiasco. But then they were like, well, you shouldn't be experiencing this much symptoms because your thyroid levels are borderline. You're not even truly underactive. It's not even truly underactive. It's borderline. You should be fine. And I wasn't fine. I was super far from fine, and I was struggling to walk over the summer. Whilst I'd been slightly less sluggish on Thyroxin, the benefits from that had disappeared. I wasn't I think I missed my first class of the year of second year just because I felt so ill. I was missing classes, missing deadlines. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk very far. When I did walk, I would get these like shooting pains up my legs. It would muscle cramps, and I was trying so hard. I kept walking. I kept trying to get out and going to do things, and I just couldn't. And then I went back to the doctor and I said, I'm really struggling to keep walking. It's really hard. And he said, have you tried walking more? And I was like, yes, that's what I'm doing. I am walking more, and it's hard. So I went away from that just feeling like, well, that's just great. And then kind of, I can't remember if it was October and it had only been like a month or so since being back, or if it was November. But I went back. I lost all track of time. I was so out of it. I went back, and the doctor finally kind of went, no, something really isn't right. It's not just your mental health. It's not just your thyroid. There's definitely some, and he was the one who kind of gave me the initial ME diagnosis. Not diagnosis, the sort of, he said, I think you have this. And he offered a referral, and I freaked out. I was like, I cried on the phone to my mum. I was like, I can't have this. I can't do this. And I ended up not taking the referral. I thought, I can just fix this. It's just chronic fatigue. I can fix this. I don't need the doctors. I knew that they would try and give me more counselling, and I hated CBT because I'd been through it about 2 or 3 times at this point for mental health things, and I never found it beneficial. So I did not want to have CBT. I felt like if they tried to push me to do any more exercise with like the graded exercise stuff, I was already at my limit. I was already doing more than I could. I didn't want, and also I absolutely hate doctors and hospitals. It takes a lot to get me there. It always has. So yeah, I gave up, and I didn't do that. And then it was that autumn that I started using a cane to walk because I had reached the point where I couldn't get out. and that gave me a little bit more freedom because it helped support me with the pain. It helped with my balance, which was also a bit of a mess. I was dizzy and wobbly, and so that helped me kind of get, it didn't really help me get out, it helped me just do sort of the base level normal. I got to some of my classes. I had some friends who would come and spend time with me in my room, so that was good. That year I spent a lot of time listening to audiobooks because I was finding it very hard to read. I was finding it hard to even watch things. I had a lot of extensions on my university work, and then that summer I didn't actually go home. I'd just come out to my family about being trans, and I decided I didn't want to go home for the summer. I thought it'd be too awkward and too complicated, and I just got a couple of pet rats, which was it was great. I loved them and they really helped my mental health, but oh my god, it was exhausting looking after them. Given my physical health, it probably wasn't the best idea, but I made it work. And so I moved in with a couple of people who were my partners at the time, and just stayed the summer in my university town. I actually had rented out a wheelchair at that point, and that was the only way I was really getting out of the house. It wasn't a manual one. It was a manual one, but it wasn't. It didn't have big wheels. I don't really know any of the technical terms for this. I couldn't move it myself. I had to be pushed, but that was fine because I wouldn't have been able to push myself in it. And that allowed me to get out to the library because we didn't actually have internet in our house that summer. So that allowed me to get to the library to use the internet. But other than that, I spent most of the time in bed, just either sleeping, listening to books, or watching things. It wasn't my best summer. I did visit my family briefly. I went to my grandma's to see them, and according to my mum, she later said she was so worried about me because I did not look well at all. And yeah, it was bad. It was bad. And then I moved into another house for my third year of university, and that was when things didn't really improve during my third year, but I was managing to get things a little more under control. I was attending more classes, although there was still a lot that I missed. I had a massive extension on my dissertation, which I actually completed over the summer. I was still struggling a lot, but my grandma was, because my family now knew how ill I was, my grandma who lived nearby was helping out with food and like washing and things like that. So I kind of struggled through. I then came home for then that was the year that I then said okay, and decided to go for the referral anyway for the doctors. I went back to the doctors and said, actually, yes, could you please refer me? I clearly cannot get over this myself. So I got referred to the chronic fatigue service. So it was actually the chronic fatigue service in the hospital at Llanfyddwchan. So I had to go out of town. My grandma had to drive me there because I couldn't get to it by myself. Despite the fact that there was a perfectly good hospital in Bangor, no, we had to go to Llanfyddwchan. Anyway, and I saw a psychologist there who gave me the initial diagnosis. There's some stuff in my diagnosis that I disagree with. I don't look at it and I'm like, this is a load of rubbish. But it got me the paper diagnosis, which made it easier. Although my university had already been very good and I had been able to access support without an official diagnosis, with just my doctor saying these are problems. I then had the official paper one, so it was easier. And I then didn't actually do CBT. They had a group. I'm not quite sure what the group offered, whether it was like a group I'm not sure CBT isn't really a group therapy, but they had a group but they said that I wasn't well enough to take part in it, so I didn't actually take part in that, hence why I have no idea what they actually did in it. I instead saw the physiotherapist one-on-one, did like stretches, worked on improving my kind of exercise levels, which was sort of gentle graded exercise therapy, and I thought it was working. I did improve. I'm now not sure whether I was improving because the graded exercise therapy helped me improve, or whether I would have just naturally improved at that point in my illness anyway, or whether I did improve from the graded exercise therapy, but then it only had benefits for so long, because I have now kind of relapsed back into it whilst still doing the graded exercise therapy stuff. So I'm not feeling too positive about that whole treatment, given that I should be better now, or at least a bit better, and I'm actually getting worse. So yeah, but that's for another video, really, that story. So yeah, and I did actually complete my dissertation over the summer. I completed the year, did quite well, amazingly, and went back for a 4th year to do my master's, which I maybe shouldn't have done, but I did. And that 4th year, I was actually doing pretty well. I almost thought maybe I'm not going to be ill anymore, because I managed to start dancing again, and I was walking more, and I lost some of the weight I gained when I'd been very not moving much, and I thought I was doing really well, and I attended almost all of my classes, and I actually came out with I did an integrated course. My master's was kind of added on to my degree, and I came out with a first at the end of it, which I finished on time. And then I came home, and this year things have started going downhill again. Almost like I'd kind of been, but I think I pushed myself too hard. I did too much. I did everything because I suddenly felt a little bit better, and because I was being encouraged to. In my diagnostic the paper thing, it says ignore your symptoms. They won't cause you any harm. I was literally told to ignore when I'm tired, when I'm in pain. So, which I think is actually the wrong thing to do. But anyway, that kind of brings us to now, where I am now seem to be heading back to the level of fatigue that I had before. I'm not quite there yet, but I seem to be heading that way, and also I'm also sort of, my pain levels are going up again as well. Which reminds me, I forgot while we were talking about this, but the summer after my 2nd year, when I stayed in Wales, that summer I actually got I don't know how official fibromyalgia diagnoses work. What happened with me was I saw the doctor, he talked to me, he was the one who'd suggested ME. He then did so he already knew my history. He did the pressure, the point test thing where they prod you really hard. Actually, I don't think they're actually prodding you that hard, but it hurts like hell. But apparently that's because you have fibromyalgia, and it wouldn't hurt that much if you didn't. I don't know how, I'm not really sure how it all works. All I know is I went in, I got poked and prodded, I cried from pain, and then I got told I have this, and the symptoms fit. So yeah, so that's also on that. Fibromyalgia is also on the list. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I've just realised I've been talking for almost 20 minutes now, and since I said I wasn't going to edit down this video because I'm too tired to, this is going to make for quite a long video after I said I wanted to do short videos in the first video. So that was the first day of this kind of challenge thing. I'm now looking at it on my tablet and I have lost it because I don't know what I'm doing today. There it is. Let me just find it again. There it is. Yeah, so there's 31 days of this challenge. There's a new topic for each day. My background, your ME story, that's what it's called. So I will be going through one of these each day. I probably won't be posting them each day, especially because I'm actually going away for a week. So what I'll do is I will just film a little video each day. This one's been particularly long, but the others probably won't be as much. I don't like filming when there's other people in the house, so some days they will actually be very short because I won't have much of a chance to film. Yeah, and I'll just go through them each day, and that'll kind of be my videos for this month, I guess, with a kind of quite a big focus on ME. I am looking to do some book reviews because, like I said, I love reading. I both read actual books, but I also listen to audiobooks. I will probably only be reviewing the ones that I physically have so that I can actually show them to you. It would look better, but I might review others as well. I don't know. I'll see. I finished a book the other day, so I'm writing. I will hopefully write up a review. I've got another video about ME that I've kind of planned, but I might not film that until next month because I don't think it fits into this challenge. If it does, then I'll just slip it into the challenge somewhere, but I don't think it does. And I think that's all. Oh, I'm debating doing some gaming videos because that's another of my hobbies. And they seem to go down quite well on YouTube, but I haven't yet. I've worked out how to film my gameplay, but I haven't yet worked out how to record my voice at the same time. So I'm working on that. I might do that. If I do start uploading multiple topics like games, books, and chronic illness, then I will split them into playlists on my channel so that people can find them easily, because I know that some people are interested in one but not in the other. So I'll try and make it easy for people to kind of find what they want. Yeah, I think that's all. I am now definitely rambling. Oh, I'm also debating vlogging my trip away, but I'll think about that because I'm still quite anxious about being on camera. I don't know if you can tell, but I do still feel quite anxious about being on camera, so I might not do that, or I might do it and then decide not to post it. So we'll see. Anyway, I'm definitely gonna stop there because I'm now at 22 minutes and I don't have the energy to edit. So yeah, bye. Oh, I'll put Instagram in the description below as usual. Yeah, okay, bye.